Hello, guys. I'm gonna make it so that you guys can see me here. It's a very different video because my family is in the living room. So I had to come out and hide in the bedroom. I have family and visit over, and I just got home from work. So please bear with me. I am actually uploading. We are live, guys. Welcome in the chat. We are live on my crap top and in the bedroom. I know you've never seen me here before, probably, but my house is full and I'm hiding here. And I know you saw the title. So, welcome, Nika, here with your daily neuro nugget. And we're going to be talking about Kaylee. Now, anytime I mention anything about Kaylee, people love to twist my words and they love to take information out of context and make it so that it appears that we are talking smack about Kaylee. They say we are dragging Kaylee's name through the mud, and that's not what we're doing. I don't hate Kaylee. Kaylee's not even here anymore, right? We're here to uncover the truth. And we've been lied to, guys. It is my opinion. These are my opinions, by the way, my theories, and they are to be utilized for information purposes only. You can come to your own conclusions. That being said, every time we are opening up more of these Idaho State Police documents, it becomes more revealing. Because what do I take away from these 3+ documents that I just read? That, in my opinion, Kaylee was not as close as the GFAM likes to make it seem, right? They're always talking about how they were so close to Kaylee, blah, 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 blah. They play the grieving family very well. I don't know if they're grieving or not. That's my current opinion. And maybe it'll change tomorrow. I don't know, right? So I'm going to go over some of these newly dropped documents from Idaho State Police. First, I want to go over the Range Rover purchase, right? And it says, after the unalivings, blank contacted blank and wanted to return the Rover. Later, she contacted them and told them that her husband did not want to return the vehicle. So I do find it very interesting, just something to keep in mind, that the one that did not want to return the vehicle was Steve G, in my opinion, from what it's sounding like, right? Again, these documents, bear with me, they are blanked out, so we're kind of filling in the gaps. And it's kind of sounding like Mr. Gonsalves did not want the car returned. Fine. We're not going to read much into it, but I'm reading into it, right? I also spoke with the finance manager who confirmed the price of the vehicle as $24,423. He also confirmed that Kaylee put down $6,500 in cash and the grandmother put $1,000 on credit card. Kaylee put her credit application that she made $3,200 a month. $3,200 a month? That's a big chunk of change for a college student, right? That's a big chunk of change for a lot of us, even with degrees. That being said, a $24,000 vehicle is not like an $80,000 vehicle, right? But still, according to blank, Kaylee was a first-time buyer, so her credit was good. She received the car loan without having to have a co-signer. So, independent woman that Kaylee is, very independent. She appeared to have her things together. She was at least having some sort of money coming in and didn't have a co-signer. Blank saw nothing unusual during the sale. He told me he did try to sell Kaylee an extended warranty, but she declined. Okay, so she paid for it out of pocket. Something to keep in mind. And also that Mr. Gonsalves, for whatever reason, did not want to return the vehicle. Now, Mr. Gonsalves has been a very strange person in this whole case, right? He has said so many things that come across as very cryptic. We see him coming online, going live, going to several news channels, doing interviews, and wearing his hex hat. Go watch my videos, the very first ones I made almost 3 years ago now regarding Mr. Gonsalves and hex, right? But he also said a lot of things like they didn't have to go upstairs. And what really stood out with me was that one time when he did that interview and he said straight to the camera and said, I paid that debt. I paid those dues. I paid those bills. Right? I know you guys remember. What the fuck was he talking about? Because these documents that I'm about to read, okay, we just read the Range Rover purchase. Kaylee paid for everything, didn't have a cosigner. Next document, right? This is another document that was an interview with Idaho State Police. And these are interviews that were done by ISP interviewing people that Kaylee was close to at the university, right? Blank told us that she thought Kaylee was blank and she was rarely in contact with them. Kaylee considered Maddie her closest family member. So why are the Gonsalves coming up here trying to pretend that, oh my God, we're so close to her, we love her, blah, blah, blah. Not saying they didn't love her. Stop twisting my words, low IQ individuals. I'd never said that. But I'm saying, why are they pretending like they were so close and everything was so perfect? Why are they doing that? Everybody that did interviews with ISP knows that they were not on good terms. The GFAM and Kaylee were not on good terms. And all of the interviews that were done by ISP, what do we see in all the documents? Oh, that Kaylee considered her closest family member to be Maddie, okay? Not her actual biological sisters, not her father, not her mother, not Olivia, who in my opinion is a complete clown. I know I'm going to get dragged through the mud for saying that, but I'm just saying. Okay, she didn't consider any of those people her closest family member. Her closest family member was Maddie Mogan. And in my opinion, that was for a very good reason, right? Kaylee's ex boyfriend Blank and Kaylee were still on good terms after their breakup. She knew that Kaylee worked at Blank in CDA and Blank in a restaurant in CDA in the past. As far as she knew, Kaylee fully supported herself. Kaylee fully supported herself and paid for all of the expenses while going to college. So what the fuck, Steve? Why did you years ago look into the camera and say, I paid all them dues, I paid all them bills? Because one could say, it's all for show. He was just trying to get in the spotlight. But for me, in my personal opinion, this is a more cryptic response. There's something cryptic. Was Mr. Gonsalves trying to tell us that maybe he owed somebody some dark, weird debt? And that he is talking to the camera saying, I paid my dues, and how dare you come back and take my daughter out? And there have been speculations of Mr. G being involved in rugs or even darker underground. By underground, I mean illegal activities, right? Those things have been speculated by several people. So is that why Mr. Gonsalves said that to the camera? Because otherwise, why would he be saying that to the camera? I paid my dues. Because it's obviously not college. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. We all gave him the benefit of the doubt. We're like, oh, maybe he helped pay for the car. Oh, maybe he helped pay for college. Maybe he paid her phone bill. But according to all of these newly dropped documents, he didn't pay for shit. He didn't pay for shit. Kaylee fully supported herself and paid for all the expenses while going to college. Her current job was with an online business who was owned by a blank and a blank. Blank had planned on moving to Austin, Texas, and she had a roommate lined up for the blank sorority who was moving in with her, which we knew. We knew that about Kaylee. But again, why is Steve Gonsalves saying he paid his dues? Because obviously he didn't pay for shit. Kaylee was supporting herself fully while she was attending college. So, Mr. G, what dues were you exactly talking about, sir? Sir, what were you talking about? Anyway, I'm pulling up another document. This is a handwritten, I don't know if you guys can see it. No, you can't see it. He did say that. What are you talking about? I've never seen this female in here before. Um, that's exactly what he said. You know, Steve likes drama, but also just makes me wonder, was he actually involved in something illegal, in something sinister? I paid my dues. I paid that debt, right? Right? Go back to the beginning, Jackson Stacked, or who's asking? Yeah, Jackson Stacked, go back to the beginning, please. And it's ISP basically, ISP interviews, right? Now I have an adult victim background questionnaire here. This was handwritten by somebody that was close to Kaylee that probably attended university with her. Again, the names are blanked out. So this is what this person had to say. And this person put that the date of last contact was on 11/11/2022. So like just a couple days before the IDAHO4, right? Just a couple days. And they put that this interview, this questionnaire was done on December 7th, 2022 at 3:47 p.m. in Moscow, Idaho. There's a question here that says describe the quality, positive or negative, of Kaylee's relationships, e.g., strengths, ongoing conflicts, right? They're asking this girl to talk about relationships that Kaylee had. How's your family life? How are Kaylee's relationships? And she said, families, mom and dad, and then everything is blanked out. Why is everything blanked out? Why are they blanking out what this girl hand wrote about mom and dad? I find it very, very strange. I think that there is something there. There is something there. There was something positive there that had been mentioned by this girl. I don't think it would have been blanked out. I think she wrote something negative. Why do I think that? Because all of the interviews that have been done by other students, other people that knew Kaylee, everyone and their mama knew that basically Kaylee was not close. Kaylee was not close to mom and dad. She was not close. She constantly described her closest family member as Maddie, not even a blood relative, right? This same girl considered Maddie her closest family member, and with Jack went back and forth, were on good terms. So interesting that we have multiple people saying that basically she was not close to the family, right? Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, guys. Okay, this is the same handwritten document. Describe any potentially risky behaviors. Let's talk about the risky behaviors. And people don't like to talk about this because they're like, oh my God, for fuck's sake, don't talk about it. Like it all bent out of shape. We're talking about it, babe, because it's in the legal documents. Okay, babe? Like literally. Okay? It's in these documents. That's why we're talking about it. I see so many people uh getting upset, protecting Steve. Like, babe, why are you protecting Steve? Like, are you like his side girl or something? I don't know. It's a little weird. Why are you standing up for Steve? Either way, Kaylee, according to this individual that typed up that hand wrote this document, was involved in some potentially risky behaviors per this document, i.e., drug transactions, excessive use of alcohol, online activity, drinking and driving. Kaylee engaged in, and the person put, Kaylee would sometimes communicate with blank on social media. And we know that Steve said, what did Steve say? Horrible things are going to come out. Some things are going to come out. Things are going to come out. But here we have somebody saying that handwriting in the potentially risky behavior line that she would communicate with some blank person on social media. Why would this girl put this information on this legal document? Who is Kaylee communicating with on social media that would be considered risky behavior? What comes to mind? Help me. Because if I have a girlfriend, I'm dating myself here, but let's go back like 30 years when I was in college. Like, why would you put that down about your friend? Unless you know that there's somebody that is potentially dangerous. They're communicating with, I don't think it's OnlyFans. They're communicating with this specific person that's blanked out on social media. For me personally, this is not OF. This is giving Aryan Brotherhood gang vibes. That would be considered risky behavior, right? Right? If you know that there is somebody who is involved in maybe rugs, then as a friend, you would say, yeah, this person is risky. This is a person. I know people are saying, oh, seeking arrangements, oh, sugar daddies, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, what is blanked out is one person specifically. We have to use our brains. We have to use the power of deduction. This is not a website. This is a specific person that this friend of Kaylee's considered to be a risky person. So, who is that? Describe Kaylee's daily schedule. She would wake up, take Murphy out, let on her computer, and work. When she was done working, we would take our dogs on play dates and said she'd go home and have dinner with her roommates. Describe any recent changes to that schedule. Nothing different during the week. She would go out almost every weekend with Maddie, who was Kaylee's closest relationship. Maddie since 6th grade. So who is this risky person that she knows Kaylee was communicating with online and is saying this might be a dangerous individual? I personally believe that it's somebody involved in rugs. But that's just me. Either way, I want to know, why is it that the GFAM has made it appear, is trying to put this show on that, oh, we're so close to whoever. I think, oh yeah, Mitchell, maybe Emma, probably Emma, right? Emma was seen at 1122 King Road, and she's a risky individual. She's been incarcerated. She's trouble. And I know people are gonna say, look, why are you guys talking about how Kaylee's car, what does it matter? She's not on trial. How she paid for the car has absolutely no bearing on this case. But you have to understand that we talk about this, and obviously Idaho State Police thought that this was important to talk about. Her boyfriend is a dealer, yeah, but her boyfriend is not. According to the same person that wrote this paper, her boyfriend they're on good terms. I don't think it's this person. I think it's somebody else. But you have to understand, we're looking for money influx, and that's also what ISP was doing, which is why they are looking at how Kaylee paid for the Rover, the Range Rover. So many people gave us so much hate. They gave us so much hate at the beginning. What does it matter how she paid for her car? It obviously matters if the fucking ISP detectives are looking at how she paid for the car. She paid for the car with her own money. Now we know that, now that the legal documents are released. But see, we were not insane. We were not crazy. We were doing the basic shit that any detective would do. You're welcome. In my opinion, all the documents that I just went through show how close Maddie and Kaylee were. Okay, they were more close than any of the girls that were in the house, and they were more close to each other than to Kaylee's actual blood family, which honestly, I'm going to throw shade here. It doesn't surprise me. Why? Because I've talked about Mr. Steve G. I've found him very strange from the very beginning. We gave him the benefit of the doubt just for him to continue to disappoint us over and over and over again. And we have also found that he not only the fact that we know that he's not close, or Kaylee did not consider herself to be close to her father, but we also know that he kind of abandoned his very own biological daughter, right? Steve has a very iffy track record with his daughters, so it doesn't surprise me. Um, it just comes across for a lot of people like the family's seeking attention because that's the type of people that they are. Maybe. Maybe they're the type of people that like to be in the spotlight. Or maybe they are so involved because they feel guilty. It's possible, right? A lot of people have reached out to me on Instagram. By the way, if you guys want to reach out to me, you can do so on Instagram. A lot of you guys have sent me topics you want me to touch on. You can find me on Instagram. Hello, John. Hello, guys. Hello, Suds. Hello, Mitchell. Hello, Emily. Hello, everyone in the chat. I totally agree with you, John. Steve is terrified of Christy. I think that Christy is the devil incarnated. And again, I know I'm going to get hate for that, but I can't help it because I'm as honest as they come, even if it hurts people's feelings. And I'm honest with myself too, even if it hurts my own feelings. So don't think I just do this because I'm a bitch. I mean, I'm a straight up blunt honest bitch, but I'm that way with myself. And I agree with you about Christy, John, because why? Because when I have seen the abandoned daughter abandoned by Mr. Steve G, um it breaks my heart. And she has mentioned her story. She has shared her trauma with all of us. And I'm a big fan because it takes a very courageous person to go up there and continue to be harassed, shall I say, forgotten, pushed aside by your father, to come out on TikTok and tell your story of abandonment. And then mention that the one that was behind that was Christy, right? So, is that a good individual? I mean, if he abandoned his own biological daughter, it's not that far-fetched to think that Mr. Gonsalves and Christy were not that close to Kaylee either, especially if Kaylee and every one of her friends in these documents is saying that, no, Kaylee's closest family was Maddie, and that she was basically, in my opinion, estranged from her family. So some of you guys have also mentioned that in the early days, there were a lot of reports where Steve had kind of addressed the fact that the relationship between Kaylee and the family was kind of contentious, right? That Kaylee had a lot of back and forth conflicts with her parents, and that she was ready to leave town. She was tired of college life, sorority life, her family. She just wanted to get out of there. But then the story kind of shifted. They made it look like they were closer for whatever reason. For me, it was always very difficult to believe that they actually had this very special bond. When I see Olivia, this is me, my opinion. Don't get all butthurt. You can share your opinion in the chat. You can share your opinion in the comment section. Okay, but my opinion is that her older sister, Olivia, just gives off jealous girl vibes. I mean, even in the very early days post Idaho 4, when they were giving interviews, it would be Christy and Steve yapping constantly. And I'm like, okay, why is Olivia sitting there in the middle, not saying anything? Like, does she like the spotlight? Does she enjoy the spotlight? And we saw how she went ham on Koberger at the sentencing. Something tells me that she just really likes the spotlight, right? I personally believe that there's some jealousy there. There's some jealousy, in my opinion, from Olivia. But that's just my opinion. I don't think they were that close. And we've also heard that Maddie and Kaylee were very, very close, but towards the end, they were allegedly not that close anymore. So I don't know. Do you guys think that maybe her family knows what happened to Kaylee? Who did it, when, and why? And they're just doing their thing? They're just putting on a show? I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. Does Dad know who unalived them and why they were unalived? Why did Steve talk about him paying his debt when all of these documents show that Kaylee was paying for her own things, paying her way through college, paying for her vehicle? What are you talking about, Steve? And again, I know I'm going to get heat for saying this, but with Olivia being all over social media, it doesn't sit well with me. It's never sat well with me what the Gonzalez have done. It comes across to me as like they're just monetizing the entire tragedy. They're capitalizing on it, and it's freaking strange. But feel free to disagree, right? So let me know, what did you guys think about these documents? Do you think it's giving estranged from the family vibes? If you think that, please leave a 1 in the chat and most definitely in the comment section. And if you think we're just reading too much into this, although I know we're not, because we're literally reading what these people hand wrote on these documents, please leave it too. We don't hate if you disagree, but I might side eye you if I see you at like in the real world or something. But it's fine. I understand not all of us are going to have the same mentality, as long as, you're open-minded, you know? So, yeah, guys, let me go to, oh my gosh, I've been here 30 minutes already. All right. And I'm really, really sorry. Again, I am uploading from the crop top. So, Hopper says, I should have patented crop top. Betsy, girl, you're telling us all the tea nobody else wants to admit. They don't want to, because when we talk about this, you don't understand how much hate we get, right? How many threats we get when we call out the bullshit, because we're talking about families of the victims, right? We're questioning them. And it's, in my opinion, it takes a very courageous person to do that. Because when you attack, aka question, family members of victims, you're gonna get shit on. It's just how it is. Even though we're asking questions because of the documents. So, hello, Fuentes. I'm glad you made a live. Keza, welcome. Margot Gogo. Mitchell says rectalantra. Deborah says it's all for show. Hello, my pal Sal Vintage. DM involved admitted helping cleaning up crime scene. See interview with Detective Gooch. I know that they cleaned up the house, but that was before the crime had taken place. It was for like Family Day or something. It was like a week prior to. John says, Nika, have you heard the audio from some videos seem to indicate that Steve was there that night? Oh my God, that's scary. Also, in one audio clip, I heard a girl say, Mom, WTF are you doing here? Oh God. Yeah, I've heard people hearing a lot of different things in audio. The problem with audio, for me at least, is that I can't trust. I don't have faith in any of the audio that is out there. So when people send me audio, I don't even listen to it, because unless you have a way to authenticate the fact that that audio or the video or the footage of the pictures have not been tampered with, anyone can make up some BS and spread it around. So I'm not a fan of those. It's also like a psychological fact that if you tell yourself you hear something and then you listen to the audio, you will hear that thing. That's just how the brain works. So hello, SC. Welcome to the live. Hello, Judy. Thank you so much for the kind comment. Hello, Emma. Lisa said, he said dark things would come out. Miss Jessica says gone. Hashtag Gone's grifters for sure. Deborah says SG was jealous of his own daughter in a weird kind of way. Connections. Mitchell says family connected to the Aryans. Fact. Well, Steve's brother was in jail for unaliving somebody, right? That's where that Aryan Brotherhood gang connection comes in. And this Jessica's is aired out, Nika. Deborah says, it's truly sad what life Kaylee and Maddie had to endure with SG. It's syrupy, sickening to say the least. Bernie says it's the Hex cryptocurrency mess. Judy says, oh yeah, I remember him saying like he was talking to someone through the camera. Gross things will come out. Exactly, my pal Sal Vintage. The tan sedan that Molly Meth talked about. It wasn't even white. It wasn't even white. It was a tan sedan with a redhead that was driving it, according to Molly. So thank you guys for joining me in today's live. Make sure you leave a like. I do appreciate the cash apps, the super stickers, everything, but I don't ask. I will never ask for those. I do ask you guys leave a thumbs up and definitely comment in the comment section. Remember, I'm a scientist. I'm a scrub. Okay, I work long days. I don't ask you guys for money. I just want likes and comments. So thank you guys. I'm sorry if I missed any of you in the chat. Hello, Joni. Hello, Michael. Green chili chicken. That's always fun to say. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. Mwah.